Okay. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining today. I'm Jano Lieber, MTA Chair and CEO. Jamie Torres-Springer, the President of Construction and Development for the MTA is here, but also Metro North President Justin Vanashek. And you can hear Justin's trains keeping their 98% on-time performance right over us. Listen, today we're celebrating a super important milestone for an amazing historic project, the Park Avenue Viaduct. This is the last of our Phase 1 bridge installations. When this project began, this was the whole project. We worked out something where we could save money by actually doing more right now while everybody was mobilized, but this is a project in itself, and emphasis on time and on budget. There's no project that is more complicated logistically, maybe in the United States, than this one, but it's on time and on budget. This bridge, this viaduct, is the backbone of Metro North service. It runs from the entrance of the Park Avenue Tunnel at 97th Street, where you come out of the ground, all the way to the Harlem River, almost 2 miles. Virtually every Metro North train, all those trains headed for Grand Central, go on this viaduct. 750 trains every weekday. And for the last 100 years, it's been falling apart. This is a story about what we're dealing with in the MTA capital program, Greg. We have, there are, in this viaduct, there were structural elements that were put there maybe by Cornelius Vanderbilt himself over 100 years ago, back in the 1890s. And now, finally, 130 years later, when we said enough is enough, we've got to fix this before it falls down, and we started the rebuilding. We decided to do it in phases to minimize the impact to riders. We can't be ruining that 98% on-time performance that Justin and Metro North team deliver every day. And now we're almost halfway there to actually getting the project complete. Huge kudos to Jamie and everybody at MTA Construction and Development, but also to the project team and our contractors. Jamie's going to enumerate them, but this has been an innovative project in part because of the leadership of Halmar and WSP, and also because of the amazing union laborers who come here every day and get work done. This work is nothing short of a miracle, and the impact is going to be felt for decades to come. I also want to thank the federal government in this era of drama about federal shutdown and this and that projects being delayed. This is a project that has been funded by the federal government, and we acknowledge that partnership whenever it applies, and we're doing it today. This project embodies, as I said, everything we're doing in this new state of good repair focused MTA capital plan. We have really aging assets and components all over the system, and they're falling apart, and we're determined to bring them into the 21st century, starting with this project. So let's hear more from Jamie, but he's going to tell you a little about the complexity of doing this and dropping in new structure and new tracks while you're running the service. Amazing, miraculous construction. Jamie.
Thank you very much, Jano. Thank you, everyone. This one's pretty special for us at C&D. If you want to see the new MTA, look up. I don't think any other construction agency in the country or the world can do what we've done here, operating machines this big, in spaces this small, while running service this good the whole time. Not a single service interruption as a result of this project. And all of it, as Jano said, ahead of schedule and under budget. This is one of the most complex and high-stakes state of good repair projects currently underway. And of course, Jano said it, we know it's very important to Metro North service, 98% of it, but also this is a celebration of how we're doing things at the MTA these days. It wouldn't have been possible without all of the changes we've made in the MTA construction program to deliver better, faster, and cheaper, strong leadership, innovative planning, smarter delivery models, all hallmarks of the new MTA. So let's start with what we've done here. We replaced 128 bridge spans in this phase. A bridge span is the section of one track from column to column, so 128 of those. Using that complex gantry system that sits on the street and straddles the viaduct, those giant yellow machines behind me. And we did that during meticulously planned bridge replacement outages, or what we've affectionately come to call BROs, operating only on weekends. That's 8,240 feet of new bridges, which is 2,000 feet per track times 4 tracks, 8 city blocks long. Along with it, 12,800 feet of new aluminum third rail, 6,500 feet of signal cables, 25,000 feet of new running rail, and over 40,000 feet of new communication cables. All of it, again, without any service interruption for Metro North whatsoever. A lot has changed since the construction of the original viaduct over 130 years ago. So we knew we needed to modernize it, not just replace it in kind. So what else did we do? We added 6,400 feet of new maintenance walkway to improve worker safety. There were no walkways before. We used concrete columns and hot-dipped galvanized steel to eliminate the need for future painting of the structure. We increased vertical clearance at 8 intersections over the roadway up to 14 feet, which is going to reduce bridge strikes that happens when trucks try to pass through under the viaduct. And we incorporated over 200 feet of beautiful new artwork at 116th Street, and our colleagues from MTA Arts and Design are here if there are any questions about that. From the start of the project, we approached this differently, and the results speak for themselves. We saved $93 million and came in 51 months ahead of our project schedule, all while performing the work solely on weekends. That's thanks to the innovation we got out of our design builder. Our contractor, Halmar, created basically their own manufacturing plant to construct custom gantries and precast bridge sections. Prefabrication is a really important tool that we had to use here. It allowed them to navigate the complexities of working on and around Park Avenue around the clock. It's also thanks to our decision, which the feds supported us on, we're appreciative of that, to handle phase 2 up above 125th Street as part of this same project. All of it now is on schedule for final completion in 2027, and our contractor even told me when I got here he thinks he's going to beat the schedule on that. The project also demonstrates the value of strong labor partnerships. For this project, we signed a project labor agreement with the Building and Construction Trades Council, which improved work rules, but also it's delivering better health care for workers and allowing us to avoid costly litigation, which keeps the project moving on schedule. So we're really grateful to our labor partners for all the work that they've done, and we're grateful to Gary LaBarbera and the folks at BCTC for working with us on this. I want to recognize a few key people. We've got our business unit leadership, executive leadership here, Anthony Tufano, Bob Laga, Ziona Rubin, but it's really our project team that got this work done. Our project executive, Mike Sheehan, has been the voice of getting the Park Avenue Viaduct rebuilt for many years. He's the guy who came up with the methodology for doing this, the originator of the bridge replacement outage, the BRO concept, which went from replacing one bridge to make sure that we could do it safely, to 2 and 6 and 8 and up to super mega BROs, which I think is 12 bridges, Mike, in one weekend. And Mike's got a great team here that are going to go on to all kinds of success working at the MTA. Colin McGrain, Chandler Murphy, Alina Vippo, William Oku, Sergio Bracco, and of course, Jano also thanked our contractor from Halmar and our consultant from WSP. Lastly, Phase 1 success was thanks to the strong collaboration between 2 agencies at the MTA, Construction and Development and Metro North. With Metro North brought the planning, the resources, and the manpower to this project so that we could get the work done. And with that, I want to turn it over to Justin Vonashek, our partner at Metro North. Justin.
All right, thank you, Jamie, and thank you, Jano, for your ongoing support of this critical project. The completion of the first phase of the viaduct highlights the importance of addressing our aging infrastructure through comprehensive planning and major investment. From the start, we all knew it would require a full team effort to keep this project on time and on budget, while also providing the service both Jamie and Jano mentioned today, 98% on-time performance. That's why Metro-North operational teams work closely with our partners at MTA C&D, the contractors, and our labor partners to identify ways to do business differently, finding efficiencies to avoid delays, all while minimizing the impact to our operation and the surrounding communities. One of the first steps was relocating the railroad's critical infrastructure, both the signal and power systems, away from the scheduled work areas. This early action not only protected our operation, but also created efficiencies that allow contractors to complete their work more effectively. Another key keeping this project on schedule was a new approach developed and implemented by the Metro-North Transportation Department as well as MTA C&D and Mike Sheehan, the Intertrack Containment System. This system allows trains to continue running on our active tracks while the work is ongoing and ensures the safety of our employees. This innovative and deceptively simple solution has streamlined and enhanced protective measures for contractors and our employees. This approach has resulted in real savings to the schedule as well as the budget. It has strengthened the backbone of Metro operations, which, as we said, carries 98% of all mainline trains. Ensuring the structural integrity and safety of the viaduct is critical to running safe and reliable service to and from Grand Central Terminal. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I am reminded that part of this project that we haven't talked about is a major artwork at 116th Street on both sides of the viaduct. The MTA, which has emerged as one of the leaders in public art in the United States, is doing a major art installation, and it's being overseen by MTA Arts and Design with its new chief and honcho, Tina Voss. So acknowledgement for that piece of what we hope we're delivering to the community, not just safer and long-term and better looking and less dilapidated and more pigeon protective, but also more art. That's good stuff. Tim.
All right, and for the newsrooms watching online, we're going to feed you the artwork, a little video at the end of the news conference, as well as time-lapse video showing how the replacement goes on. Let's start the questioning with Michael Aronson from the New York Daily News. Michael.
So what is phase one? Is it from one street to another street?
It's just up to 125th. What we Michael, just to interrupt you, the original project was just from the entrance to the tunnel at 97th Street up to 123rd. And when we saw how this new innovative approach could knock it out quickly and successfully, we said, let's just keep going all the way to the Harlem River. So we created a phase two. We did a deal with the contractor to keep going, and that's the work that remains.
So from 125th to the river is what remains?
Yes. 123rd to the river is what remains.
And what did you have to do with relocating La Marqueta? They had to be relocated and then put back, and were they closed for that period of time, or what did they do?
No, tenants have been relocated and are continuing to operate. La Marqueta, I believe, has been relocated south to 111. La Marqueta is operating south of 111th Street, so we've ensured that the tenants are operating safely, and they will be able to return as long as they're operating safely under the viaduct.
All right, let's go to Gregory Mocker from Pix 11 News. Greg.
Greetings, Chairman, and congratulations on getting this done. As you look to other major infrastructure projects that are happening, how can you take the lessons learned from this, the innovations to subway projects, to other things being
Well, I think that the story here is the design-build method of project delivery or procurement really worked here. In effect, we said to the contracting community, give us your best ideas. And we hadn't thought in advance that it was possible to do it this fast using these gantry systems. And the contractor who won the job came up with this plan for the gantry system, cut the project duration dramatically, is enabling us to save some money and definitely to accelerate the delivery. So it's really a story about the success of how the MTA is developing projects in tandem with the contracting community to get faster, better, and cheaper projects.
Well, and balancing keep the service running. That seemed to be
Yeah,
some,
no,
not
that's
just, you could have done it faster maybe if
we shut the whole thing down and
that's
said
not enough.
no Metro North service on the weekend, but that's what the genius of this with our friends in the contracting community. But it always involves, I just never want to leave out the workforce who figures out how to execute things. Greg, every weekend, they're on the clock. I mean, this is a race against time. They got to get all these bridge sections in on schedule and then put the whole railroad back together again for the morning rush so they have the full capacity of the viaduct. That has been executed by an amazing unionized building trades workforce. Tip of the hat to them.
All right, anything else on topic? On topic?
I have both with the Secretary Duffy, and I had a subway surfing question too.
Oh,
so I
okay,
wait on
so
one.
here's the deal for all the vests back there. We're getting into the portion of the program I call journalism roulette, where we don't really know what's coming. And it's up to you whether you want to hang around or go back to your regular business. It's entirely your choice. But what comes next could be some other topic that has nothing to do with this. All right? Just give them a moment to those who want to move back to their business. Just stay in the neighborhood, though, because we'll be taking group pictures as soon as this is over. It shouldn't be that long. Just if the contractors could stay in the vicinity, we will be taking a group photo, and that will be immediately at the conclusion, and I don't expect it to take very long. All right, here we go. Let's start with, go ahead, Greg. You got the microphone. Greg Mocker once again.
Secretary Duffy is at Newark Airport talking about the impact of the shutdown and specifically on infrastructure. Let's keep that the topic here. It has affected Second Avenue Subway, you know all this, and the Gateway Tunnel. What's your message to the Secretary over there? And is Second Avenue, I know Gateway isn't yours, but is it in jeopardy?
Look, the truth is that the Second Avenue Subway project has not been, the work that's ongoing right now has not been impacted. They've asked us they want to perform a review that we're in compliance with the rule they rolled out, they sent to us after they announced the review. We're going to be able to comply with that. So there's really, to us, there's no drama. Obviously, there's politics here, and the sense that has been conveyed is that New York projects are being singled out because the leaders of the Democratic minority in both houses are New Yorkers. But from an MTA standpoint, there need not be any impact on our projects when the dust settles, and hopefully we go back to normal business.
Well, you've had slowdown, say Amtrak in the Bronx with the Penn access.
Well,
Are you worried about a slowdown?
Well, that's a different issue. Amtrak slows down on its own. They don't need any direction from Congress. They don't need Duffy to say anything. They slow us down every day of the week by not giving outages, which were promised in contracts, by not ever having the personnel, because it's their right-of-way and we need their supervisory personnel to stand there and watch us do work. Their people don't show up. We can't get work done. And the people in Co-op City are waiting for a goddamn train. And it's outrageous, and it's been a problem from the start of that project. The first year of the Penn Access project, Amtrak didn't give us one outage that they promised, not one. So it has nothing to do, Amtrak's delays of the Penn Access project have nothing to do with what's going on in Congress or in the White House. It's just Amtrak being Amtrak.
All right, why don't we move on to Michelle Kasky for Calm and Zen from Bloomberg News.
What?
I'll try to deliver on the calm and the zen, but good morning. Thank you. So you were speaking pretty passionately just a moment ago about Penn Access, and so it sounds like this has been going on a while, this problem with Amtrak. At what point do you seek some sort of legal recourse on this? You said it's
We're
in a
trying.
contract
We're
that
asking
they're supposed to do
Amtrak.
this.
We're asking Amtrak to make good on their promises and at least to give us, additional access and additional capacity to make up some of the time. So those discussions are underway. We'll see whether they're successful. So far, they haven't yielded much.
And then about Second Avenue Subway, to piggyback on Greg's question, at what point, I mean, work is still ongoing now,
Yeah.
you're saying it's not a drama, but at what point would work need to stop on second phase of Second Avenue Subway if the federal money was still in question?
It's a hypothetical because it has to do with sort of complicated issues of cash flow and when work is going to be done. But here's the bottom line. Everyone gets the message that New York is getting picked on. It's not a mystery. New York's getting picked on. What we're saying is, we're hoping and expecting that rationality will prevail when the shutdown is resolved, however it is, and that we can move forward. Because these projects are super important to New York. But as a reInvent Albany report showed, is the investments the MTA makes in capital projects benefit everybody all over the country. We're using billions of dollars of materials and labor and software from all over America. We are actually helping the economy of places all over red state America as well as in New York. It makes no sense to pick on New York because it's self-defeating for the federal government.
Yeah, the contracts, as you know, go to 46 states in addition to New York. All over the country is the capital money. Greg, last question.
Yeah, off topic then on subway surfing, another tragedy there. What's the plan?
It doesn't get any more tragic than this. Young teenage girls, it doesn't get any more tragic than this. And we are all of New York is heartbroken about this, and every time there's a subway surfing death. Everybody who has interactions with kids has to step up and start pushing back. The MTA has been running anti-subway surfing ads. We need help from the educators, the schools, the churches, and most of all, the parents. We also have been leaning on the social media companies and have had some success. TikTok last month had only 6 videos that slipped through their algorithm. We lean on them we look every day. But I'll say this, and all of you are in the media. One of the things that upsets me is when the television news reports on subway surfing and they run videos. I know that there's freedom of speech and they can't be suppressed, but for God's sake, let's none of us do anything that has the potential of glorifying this suicidal practice. We have got to convince everybody who's in interaction with these teenagers, this is not a game. This is putting your life at risk. And can you imagine the mothers, and the parents of these kids? Makes you want to cry. So everybody who has interaction with kids needs to be pushing back on subway surfing. And we're going to do everything that we can.
All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us. And for the folks in the newsrooms, again, we're going to run the art installation video and the time-lapse video. It's 2 separate short videos coming at you right now. For those who are here, we're going to do a group picture, all the vests and the hard hats, the leadership. Thanks, everybody.